fucking just take a fucking knee.
Says up on Pornhub. Sorry for your weird masturbation session.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Sideline Study Podcast. This is episode 5. We're going into week 5, right? So some discussions. Some discussions to have. I don't know if this is what you want.
What's up, everybody? I'm right now looking at Eddie Kingston. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he looks like an overweight pit bull.
He's a dude. I don't care for him. All the guy can do is talk. And if that's what they want their world champion to be, then if that's what people want their world champion to be, then you need not fucking watch wrestling. Go watch debates or something, because that's all that guy's good at. He's okay wrestler, but he's not that great. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about that shit. But anyway, so we had some things happened yesterday or Sunday. Let's talk about the top story of the weekend. Bill O'Brien got fired. This needed to happen. I said this for 4 years. I said it the day he got hired. I said, why are you hiring this guy? This guy is not. He had 1 year at Penn State. He's a better college coach, a better recruiter than he is a fucking NFL head coach. Okay? The Texans lost, and I think a lot of it has to do. Hold on. I still think they're the best team in the AFC South. They haven't played anybody in the AFC South yet. I don't think the Colts are as good as everybody thinks they are. They haven't played anybody. Who have they played?
Jets.
Well, yeah, they have. Everybody's like, oh my God, and I love Sarah. Everybody knows this. But she's like, oh my God, this Colts defense. The Bears can't fucking. They're 2 yards in a cloud of dust. The Jets have nothing around Sam Darnold to do anything. So when you sit here and when people sit there, oh, the Indianapolis Colts look really good on defense. Play somebody. Play the Tennessee. I think the Tennessee Titans are better than the Colts. They're just going to run right over it. Derrick Henry will run over that defense. Their linebackers are too small to take this guy on. He will wear them the fuck out. Give it time. They haven't played Baltimore. They haven't played Kansas City. They haven't played Pittsburgh. So slow down on the Colts. And I don't think they're playing all those teams, but it's like, come on. But back to Bill O'Brien and the Texans. That's play calling. For some reason, on the offensive side of the ball, Bill O'Brien does not know how to use his fucking wide receivers. He does not know how to use his fucking running backs. He knows how to use his quarterback, but that's about it. He doesn't know how to use the rest of the fucking team. He uses Deshaun Watson is a very good football player, and he has the pieces around him. It's the fucking scheme that they're fucking running that fucking is screwing up Deshaun Watson. Let Deshaun Watson do his fucking thing. It's like Lamar Jackson. Let Deshaun Watson do his thing, and I guarantee you, Deshaun Watson will wow you. That the Houston Texans are still one of the better teams in the AFC. Bobbitt is right below me, Casey. He's the one with Oscar, if you didn't know. But yeah. You can't hear Coop. I turned it off. Why does it keep doing that? I say that again, Coop. For some reason, the audio shut off.
Oh, okay. Well, is my audio messing up again?
No, it was me. I turned it on, but then it turned it off on its own, I guess. Go ahead.
Oh, well.
What were you saying? What were you saying about Houston?
I was saying that if I was a free head coach right now, I would be gladly taking that Houston Texans job because there's so much talent on that roster. It's just they haven't been able to produce. And maybe that's what you're talking about, the scheme. Maybe what we talked about on Sunday is we looked at that rushing defense of Houston, and it's one of the worst in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And also the front line, they're not holding up with Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going. Usually with football plays, it all starts with the front line first, everybody.
Right.
So if the front line's not producing, then you can't make plays.
Yep. It will. I think they'll figure their stuff out, and it's on the offensive side of the ball where everybody's worried about them because they aren't. They damn near won. They should have won fucking Sunday. They should have won. Did that final play where Will Fuller? What did I say about Will Fuller?
Yeah, he slow start though. As long as they go to him, they produce.
Well, that's because they're double covering him. And that's Bill O'Brien because he's not scheming to get people open. It's just the way it is. It's the same thing with Mike McCarthy when he was in Green Bay. The receivers would run a route and they would stop. They would turn and stop. And it's like, come back to the ball. They would just stand there and watch Aaron Rodgers. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Is he that fucking fast and in awe that you need to fucking stand there and watch him struggle? Come on, man. That's why Green Bay struggled last couple of years with him.
Also struggling. How about that Cowboys?
They're terrible. They're terrible.
Oh boy, unbelievable. So they've given up 40. They gave up 49 points or something like that to Cleveland. Wow.
And what did I say? The problem is not Mike McCarthy. It wasn't Jason Garrett. It wasn't. I mean, you could probably blame the defensive coach, but Jerry Jones will not get out of his own fucking way to let the coaches coach his team. And I said it on Twitter. The problem with the Cowboys is let the coaches coach and the owners own. If you want to have control, and I said this last year, if I'm Mike McCarthy and it is Jerry Jones is coming down, he says, well, I want you to run this, I need you to do this, I need you to do this. I'd take my fucking headset or whatever the I have, I take my playbook, I throw it at him and say, you fucking run the team then. I'm fucking done. I'm done with your dumb ass. Fix your own shit. You want to run this team? Go for it.
The Sean Lee and Van Der Esch injuries also do not help the defensive side as well.
No. But next man up. Next man up, in my opinion. Green Bay won the Super Bowl with makeshift defense one year. And it was about the scheme. Which Dom Capers and then the very following year, the scheme just took an absolute shit. So, it is what it is. Bobbitt, anything from you on Sunday? I really didn't watch much for Sunday. I watched one game, and that was Houston and Minnesota. Was it Houston and Minnesota? Yeah. Because we were up at my dad's, and then we drove home. I listened to the Bears and the Colts on the way home. Neither team is very good. Neither team is.
Bobby, you go ahead first before I talk.
Go ahead, okay. I just want to say I watched the Carolina.
Arizona game.
Yeah, what's going on there, man?
Yeah, we got.
But my God, fucking penalties.
Penalties. I watched some of that game too, Bobbit, and I don't know what was going on with the offense. It looked like they were doing short passes for the Cardinals. They were trying to go to Edwards, the running back, and they were trying to be like the Patriots for some reason. You know, they were having 17 for 22 in completion attempts for. I think Hopkins only got.
Not only that, but they can't get penalty after penalty after penalty.
When the penalties go, it makes it a long game. But from what I saw, I actually liked from Carolina when I saw Bobbitt.
They're gonna be just like Arizona. They're gonna go through their growing pains. Just watch. Don't get excited. They're gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle. What did I say about Arizona though? They're gonna struggle. Them teams that are young like that, they're gonna struggle. They're gonna make mistakes.
You also said their scheme that they would do.
It's the RPO scheme. People are going to figure it out sooner or later. People are going to learn how to defend it. The run pass option. You're going to have to do something else because that RPO run pass option only works if they do. It's like the new triple option is what it is. And yes, I know, Trek. God damn. Fucking shit. Let me finish my thought. I'll get to that game. Fucking hey. Now I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Fucking hate that.
God damn it.
What the fuck was I talking about?
Green Bay.
No, I wasn't.
No.
Talking about the scheme, the scheme that Arizona was doing.
Right. So it's the run pass option, which is a good scheme. It's new, but football teams adapt. Defenses adapt to shit. So run pass option. So what it is the quarterback has the decision. He can run the ball, he can hand the ball off, or he can throw it. Now, the pass part of that option is really, 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 really tricky. If the defensive back is playing off, it's too easy. You're throwing it every time. But if the defensive back is up, now it gets even more trickier because now it's man on man and it's assignment football. Cornerback's got the receiver and linebacker or whoever has the running back and another player is spying the quarterback. Where's the option? If you play fundamental, sound assignment football, the run pass option doesn't work anymore. Arizona is not a team that's going to drop back and throw it 50 yards deep. They're not. Kyler Murray is not that kind of quarterback. He's either going to run it, he's going to short dink and dunk it, or he's going to hand the ball off. That is Arizona's offense. And until Cliff Kingsbury adjusts to the NFL game, because he's still acting like a college coach, he needs to learn that you can't just throw short every time. You have to go deep. You have to get vertical at times, or else you're not going to have a run game, or you're not going to have a short passing game. You have to loosen up the defense. Or play Green Bay. That's all I can say. Or Atlanta. Play Atlanta or Green Bay. That's the only way you're going to fucking get any yards passing. Because absolutely fucking atrocious. And this is why I have a problem with Arizona's offense. They're not going to throw it deep. Kyler Murray's not going to give you 300 yards passing every week. Not unless they throw deep. Because Larry Fitzgerald, he's not a good run after catch guy anymore. He's almost 40 years old. DeAndre Hopkins could be, but I don't know. Thoughts? Go ahead.
I think their deep threat guy, Kirk Kirk something. Kirk. I can't. They had their third wide receiver. That's usually the vertical threat. I think he was injured in that game. So that was also
okay. So here's the thing. I get that. You can't. Here's the thing. You can't just. Well, they're deep threats out, so they can't go deep. DeAndre Hopkins is pretty fast, is he not?
Yep. That's what he's usually does.
How come you can't use him as a fucking deep threat?
Well, I saw they weren't throwing it deep.
Exactly. But if that's the case, then they're just using that Kirk guy as their vertical guy. Then that offense isn't going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. What's up, Sarah? Okay. So yeah, I mean, the Arizona Cardinals, although they are a good team, unless they start going vertical, they aren't going anywhere. They're not beating Seattle, even though Seattle has the 32nd best defense in the NFL, which means they're the worst defense in the NFL. They're worse than the Jets on defense. They're worse than the Falcons on defense. That says a lot. At least I think that's what the reason. I think that's what Heather told me today.
I'm sorry, what?
The Seahawks, they're the worst defense in the NFL.
As according to their power ranking.
Okay, so their power ranking, the reason that they have this, their power ranking, the reason they have the Seahawks where they are is because their defense is really bad. Even though they're undefeated, their defense is really bad. Sarah, I know you just got here. Any thoughts from Sunday? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
I just think they got a lot of pressure on Foles.
It's Chicago, Sarah. It's Chicago. Chicago sucks.
Oh, I know.
Chicago's terrible.
I know.
And I said that before you got here. Don't get too high on the Indianapolis Colts. Who have they played that is really good on offense? Name a team that they played. The 4 games that they played. Who has a high powered offense? Has a high powered offense.
Minnesota was, they've been turning it around on offense. So,
Sarah, come on. You think Minnesota's got a good offense? Come on, Sarah. Go ahead.
I'm a cook.
One guy isn't fucking work. One guy doesn't do it.
They got Thielen.
From what I saw, Dalvin Cook buried a lot of loads.
How many yards did Dalvin Cook have against Indianapolis, though?
62 yards rushing.
Okay, how many passing yards did Kirk Cousins have?
I think like 100 and something yards. I'm not entirely sure, but it was like 100 and something.
Okay, and that was before Justin Jefferson, right?
Yeah, or before he broke out.
There you go. There you go. When they actually started using the kid. Now, I can tell you right now, if they were to play the Vikings, I could probably say that Kirk Cousins could put up 300 and Dalvin Cook could put up 100 yards against Indianapolis. I don't see... Indianapolis has not played anybody that I am going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, they're really good. They're okay, but they haven't played anybody in the AFC South yet. Tennessee's got a really good defense. They're going to run the ball. Tennessee's going to fucking stop the run and the pass. I still think Houston's the best team in the AFC. They have the best talent. That's just how I see it. I could be wrong, but I think that Bill O'Brien being fired, things will start getting fixed in Houston.
Hopefully. Romeo
yeah,
Cornell's their interim coach right now.
I mean, I did watch the Indianapolis game, and Chicago is just fucking terrible, man. Chicago's freaking. They're the worst 3-1 team in the NFL. In fact, where are they at in the rankings here?
About 16 or 17, maybe.
No, they're 22nd. They're 22nd in the power rankings this week. The Eagles are ahead of the Bears in the power rankings. The Bengals, I think, are ahead of the Bengals are ahead of the Bears. No, they're right there. Bengals are 23 and the Bears are 22.
The Bengals. Burrow's really done a really good job. I give him a lot of his credit.
Yeah, but they're still not very good. They're still not a very. I mean, they're still not a very good team. They're okay. They're
okay.
They're getting better, but they're nowhere near Baltimore or Cincinnati or Arizona's better than they are. But
if I can quickly chime in, there was they only showed there's only 2 plays that were basically noticeable in the Colts and Bears game. It was the touchdown from the Colts, and then there was an interception. I think those were the only 2 plays that happened that I think were worthy of.
So what do you think of Nick Foles? What do you think of Nick Foles? What did they say?
You know what? Jesus, that's like, oh my God! What happened?
What did I say? Nick Foles is terrible. Nick Foles is terrible. Nick Foles is a. Go ahead, Sarah.
That safety for the Colts, that rookie safety, he's pretty good. That Julian Blackmon kid.
He played the Bears, and he's a rookie. What does that say about the Bears? Think about it.
Trash. They're trash.
The Bears are garbage, man. Nick Foles
the only thing that's good on the Bears is their defense. Their defense is pretty solid.
The defense is good, but their offense is about as good as the Jets.
I think it's time to.
And the problem with the Bears is they have weapons. They have Allen Robinson.
They have Montgomery.
They have a running game. But what the fuck is Nagy doing? He's one of those guys. He's all about these fucking trick plays. Stop being fucking cute to be cute for cute's sake, because it don't fucking work. It's going to catch up to the Chiefs. In fact, I'm going to talk about that game now. The Chiefs are not as good as everybody thinks they are. If it hadn't have been for the Patriots turning the ball over 4 fucking times, Patriots should have beat the Chiefs. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't watch much of the game because I didn't realize that I forgot that it was on. But don't sit here and say the Chiefs are... Patrick Mahomes looked pedestrian against that defense. I mean, what did he finish with? 200 and some yards?
Yep. 263, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's sitting here talking about how he did it. He didn't do shit. The Patriots turned the fucking ball over. Patrick Mahomes was playing on a short field. Shut the fuck up about the Patriots. The Chiefs. I am so fucking sick and tired of fucking these pundits sitting here saying how Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback to ever play the fucking game. He's not. He's not the greatest quarterback to ever play the fucking game. Aaron Rodgers isn't even the greatest quarterback to play the game. Brett Favre isn't even the greatest quarterback to play the game. You know who the greatest quarterback to ever play the fucking game is? Johnny fucking Unitas. Johnny Unitas was the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Why? Because he had it all. He could run it, he could throw it, and he was the smartest motherfucker on the field every single fucking time.
Yep.
Peyton Manning was close. He couldn't run. Joe Montana was pretty darn good too, but he wasn't the greatest quarterback of all time.
Johnny Unitas lose to the Jets in the Super Bowl?
No, he did not start that game. He actually came in and relieved the guy.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Johnny Unitas was the shit. Bart Starr. I never got a chance to watch Bart Starr play, but from what my mom said, with the kind of offenses that were going on back then, today, I don't know that Patrick Mahomes would survive in that kind of fucking environment. He wouldn't.
Bart Starr I've watched a lot of his old games, Bart Starr, type thing.
Yeah, and he wasn't a very big guy. Only thing he was like 5'10", 185 fucking pounds.
He was good.
So
Terry Bradshaw doesn't get his credit he deserves sometimes either.
Yeah, Johnny Unitas, to me, is great. One of the great. Peyton Manning's not. He's up there. Peyton Manning's got the number. Peyton Manning's probably number 2. Tom Brady's number 3 for me. The reason why Peyton Manning's number 2 is because he's better than Tom Brady was. I don't give a fuck about Super Bowl. I don't give 2 fucking shits about fucking Super Bowls. Super Bowls, to me, is a team sport. That the position that person is playing at, Peyton Manning's better. I'd rather have Peyton Manning than Tom Brady any day of the week.
Yeah.
Me too.
Don't get tired of the Chiefs. I'm just sick and tired of the fucking pundits talking this kid up. And because he's a $450 million man, I guarantee, watch, he doesn't even finish his career. Something's going to happen to him, and the Chiefs are going to be out $450 million. Watch.
Lamar Jackson's just as good as he is.
He is.
Doesn't get the that he deserves either.
No, that's
Russell
true.
Wilson's just as good as he is.
Russell, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. But I don't know. I mean, Russell Wilson's pretty good. Aaron Rodgers is buying into the system that is being put in front of him. That's why Aaron Rodgers is succeeding right now. He has, how many touchdowns did he throw? I think he threw 4 touchdowns last night. He has 18 touchdowns on the year.
Justin Herbert, I think, is going to be the best quarterback from this past year's class for the rookie.
We'll see. That's too early to tell. We'll see though.
He's impressed me though. He's definitely impressed me.
No, he's impressed me. He impressed me. What about Newton or Jackson? Cam Newton's
done a pretty good job up in New England.
Cam Newton. Well, Cam Newton's got COVID, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Which he should be back in 2 weeks. Which he's out this week, and then he should be back the following week. I don't know if he tested positive or he was just with people that tested or that ended up having it, so they ended up quarantining him. That's all. I think that's. Go ahead.
Other player or something.
Yeah,
it was just him and one other player.
But I don't think he tested positive. I think he quarantined. He might have tested positive. I bet you. I go get tested. I test positive. That doesn't mean I have it. I'm asymptomatic. Everybody, all these positive tests that you're seeing are because people are being tested. Asymptomatic. Not everybody is symptomatic. It's asymptomatic, which means you're not showing all the symptoms of COVID, but you test positive for the antibodies that cause COVID. So
I've been tested for it. I was negative.
I'm impressed with Donald Trump. He recovered from that shit in 2 days. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
He said it was like the flu. That's what he said. So.
What game was on Sunday night, Heather?
Sunday night?
Yeah.
It was Philadelphia and 49ers.
Yes. Can we say the 49ers are dead in the water?
Yep.
There's just before we get to that, just a few more earlier games that I watched.
Okay, go ahead.
The Bills are looking really good right now, from what I'm seeing. The Raiders, they had all this hype coming up, and the Bills just totally blew them out of the water in this game. So the Bills definitely for real.
Yep,
that's definitely.
Josh Allen's phenomenal.
He's a good quarterback. He's getting there.
He's quietly putting up almost similar numbers to Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is actually he's got the most touchdowns in the NFL right now. I don't know how many touchdowns he threw last night, but Robert Tonyan scored 3 touchdowns. The guy had 2 touchdowns in 3 years in Green Bay. He had 3 touchdowns last night.
Damn.
He's really good.
Hey, he has his moments. I said that. I'll talk about it. When we get there, I'll talk about it. So the 49ers are dead in the water.
The only bright spot was Kittle in that game, to be honest. For the 49ers.
If he dropped a pass. He dropped a pass for a touchdown in that game.
Oh yeah, he did. I did see that.
So the funny thing about the NFC West is San Francisco will be there at the end. Watch. Somehow they will be there at the end.
Do you guys think that this could be another year where we see a 7-9 team make the playoffs?
No, not with all of the teams that I'm seeing right now.
Because from what the NFC East is producing, it's pretty bad right now.
I don't know, man. Well, the NFC East, you might see a fucking 4-12, 4-11-1 team make the fucking playoffs. Wait, right there, fucking going. Yeah. The Eagles are leading that division.
1-2-1, I think it is.
Yep, 1-2-1.
And Rick says it was a drop 2-point conversion.
Either, whatever. Kittle doesn't drop shit. Kittle doesn't make mistakes. He made a mistake last night.
He very rarely makes mistakes, Kittle.
But I didn't watch the game. I just heard about it. I seen it. I seen it on SportsCenter. I didn't pay. I was actually watching the Packer game, and wrestling. I was watching Raw.
That Packer game was good, actually.
Well, I'm going to get to that now.
There's more of a dominance there.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. And here's why.
Here's more of like a flat out didn't do anything.
No. Green Bay was lucky. I'll tell you why. That defense is fucking horrible. They didn't have any fucking receivers. Now, that being said, Atlanta is as bad. Because Green Bay had absolutely no fucking receivers. Okay? Just give me a second.
Hopefully the Packers get Devontae Adams back soon.
Well, they're on a bye this week, so I think he'll be back next week, the following week. And they play the Buccaneers, I think. So, but Green Bay cannot stop them. Well, they were able to stop the run to a certain extent because Atlanta didn't even try to run the ball. Yeah, and Matt Ryan had 250, 260 yards passing, I think he did. He shouldn't have even had 100 in this game. Green Bay does not know how to cover a wet paper bag. They are atrocious on defense. Scares the shit out of me. Because there at no point was that Green Bay, when they turned the ball over on downs on the 1 yard line, I'm like, oh fuck. And they literally drove 90 some fucking yards on 94 yards on that fucking drive, and they end up having to kick a field goal. Green Bay dodged an absolute fucking bullet. Because I'm telling you right now, if Atlanta would have scored a touchdown, I don't think Green Bay was winning that game. They had the ball for like 11 minutes. Green Bay gets the ball back and they drive right down the field. Huh?
They held the ball for one drive, 11 minutes?
Yeah, there's like 16 plays. Damn, that's 16 plays for like 94 yards. And I think 11 minutes and 30 seconds was the drive. Green Bay and it was a methodical drive. It wasn't one, and they couldn't stop them. They had them on third and 11. Green Bay gives up a 15-yard pass, just nonchalantly. Yeah. It's laziness, complacency. It's like, let's play a soft zone. But why? You're in the middle of a game. I can understand it at the end. The way they played at the end was not. It was a soft zone, but they would react to the ball. Early in the game, they weren't reacting to shit. They were just standing there watching it. It's like, what are you doing? Green Bay's got to wake the fuck up because they have one of the best teams in the NFL right now. They're a middle-of-the-road defensive team. They make stops when they need to. But when they run into a high-powered offense, are they going to be able to stop them when they have to? I don't know. That scares me. We'll find out in a couple of weeks. I mean, Tampa Bay's got Tom Brady, and Tampa Bay has two really good fucking receivers. Green Bay may get torched.
I think that Chargers and Bucks game, was the game of the week. That was a good football game, in my opinion.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you guys caught it or not, but it was. Bobbitt, I do think that guy flipped him off in the end zone. I think that's what you saw.
What happened?
Bobbitt. Yeah, there was one guy from the Chargers.
I was watching the game.
Go ahead, Bobbitt.
I was watching the game. I was watching Carolina game. All of a sudden, they showed them. I'm like, did he just do what I think he did?
Well, I don't. Was it the Ravens game? J.K. Dobbins, the touchdown that Lamar Jackson had, where he faked the handoff to J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, he looked at the defense and he went like this, waved bye to him as Lamar Jackson ran right by the entire defense. It's kind of funny.
Well, I think what Bobbitt's Tom Brady threw a pick six. And I think the Chargers guy, when he was running back, he gave him the middle finger while he was doing it.
Oh, so yeah, he did. I did see that.
Yeah. Oh, the Los Angeles Charger flipped Tom Brady off? I'd do it too.
Yeah.
I'd do it too.
Take the fine, eh?
Eat shit, fucker.
Thank God I got Mark Andrews in fantasy, man.
Yep. Does anybody have anything else to talk about for this past week? Any other news?
OJ Howard's out for the year. He tore his Achilles tendon.
There's a weapon gone for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That hurts them.
Nope, the Rob Gronkowski better fucking learn how to catch a football and not block.
Him and Cameron Brate both. Cameron Brate's pretty good though. He's pretty solid.
He's been on the team for a few years, but he's quietly getting back in now.
Okay, so here's my question. If Cameron Brate's so good, why do they keep bringing in tight ends? Why did they bring Rob Gronkowski back? That Cameron Brate must not be very good. That's all I'm saying. Because why would they bring in another Rob Gronkowski if Cameron Brate's good? Because I know he's good. I've seen him. He's actually a decent tight end. There must be something that he's not able to do. I don't know.
And then the 49ers released Mohamed Sanu today.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to. I think he is an issue. Why? San Francisco has no receivers and they released him. New England has no receivers. They released him. Who else did? He played in Atlanta. He's pretty good there. But that's it.
Kenyon Barner.
Tight ends today, Rick. They are not there to block. I don't. The Packers brought in Mercedes Lewis because he was a blocking tight end. Very seldom do tight ends block. I mean, yeah, they're there to block during run plays, but they're more or less used like a Jared Cook, the hybrid tight end / wide receivers. I don't think that's the issue, that he can't block. Because if he could block, they'd be using him on running plays and stuff. They brought in Gronkowski. Which I don't know. I'll well, that's Bruce Arians. Well, guess what? Cameron Brate's not going to fucking play. Why did they bring in Rob Gronkowski? He's a fucking receiving tight end. He's not a blocking tight end. He can block. He's 6'7", 280 pounds, but he's the blocking tight end. He's not a blocking tight end. And O.J. Howard is a receiver. And O.J. Howard, I've never seen him be able to block. So I don't know. I don't know. I've only seen bits and pieces of Tampa Bay. I haven't seen them all the way through. They look terrible against the Saints. That's all I know. I didn't get to my... Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, Kenyon Barber or Kenyon Barner from the Tampa Bay Bucks is suspended for 4 games due to PED violation.
Okay. Anything else?
And that Kazi kid from the Falcons last night that got hurt.
Yeah, I already know. Yep, I already know. Yep, I already know. They said that last night. Who tore his ACL? I know Trek said something. I know he tore his ACL, but I know that. Just give me a second. Oh, the kid they drafted last year, Josiah DeGuara from Cincinnati. He tore his ACL, so he's out for the year. Green Bay's had bad luck with tight ends. Sternberger broke his foot last year. He was out for the year. Mercedes Lewis, they had Jimmy Graham, Mercedes Lewis, and Robert Tonyan last year. And Tonyan is going to step into a big role. With Tonyan, he was a receiver in college. He just put some weight on. So I think he's like 6'5", 235 or something like that. So he's a big kid. So they just moved him to tight end. He can block, but he only had 2 touchdowns previous to last night, and he scored 3 touchdowns last night. I think he had 5 catches for 50 yards and 3 touchdowns. Something like that. It is what it is. I wouldn't get too excited about Tonyan. I wouldn't go out and get him in fantasy football. No, I didn't. I was drunk when I said that then. But yeah, I'm gonna have Heather. Heather, can you come over here and sit? I want to get a drink. Nope, you're good. Anything else? Any other big injuries out there? Okay. When I come back, we'll do the power rankings from the NFL, but then I'm going to give my rankings from the NFL. I'll be right back.
Your rankings for the team?
Yes.
Okay, so how's everybody doing out there? I can understand why. I gotta tell you though, no, this is not a wrestling show, but you know what? I gotta tell you, his new gimmick and the new heel turn, and the pairing up with him against Jey Uso is really helping him. He's doing so much better on the mic. He's doing so much better in ring. Yeah, I would imagine so. Plus doing this pairing against his cousin and making this more about family is allowing him to actually be more himself. So you see where that's gone. There's hints. The Rock himself has said he's not against coming back at WrestleMania for a match against Roman, but I doubt it. They're going to try.
Please do not send him over to Raw.
I think it's because he has the other keyboard up on the computer there. Right, that should be better. Wait. Track. Yes, insurance companies won't let him compete. However, he is still a human being of free will and free choice. He can sit there and say, see ya to the insurance companies. So, getting back to football.
I got lost there. Of insurance.
What Trek said in the chat, because we brought the whole thing with The Rock, and it's been known that The Rock has been told by insurance companies that they would prefer that he doesn't wrestle because of injuries and all of that would keep him away from movies. And as JP said, he didn't know that insurance companies had control over Dwayne Johnson. And like I said, yes, they say they prefer he don't. That doesn't mean they sit there and tell him, no, you can't do that. Because
if we're still talking about football news here with him, he's bringing back the XFL in 22
with his ex-wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah.
She is the other part owner of the XFL, along with him.
Yep.
Wow.
Go fuck itself.
She is indeed a tank of a woman, Basement. But yes, they are bringing it back, and from what I'm hearing from the two horses' mouths themselves, they're working even harder than what the committee that Vince McMahon hired in for the XFL in the return has ever done. So,
Well, I mean, that's fine, but it's not going anywhere.
With that, here's JP.
Should we all send off a resume that we can be commentators, or?
No, because I swear too fucking much.
Well, they have Jesse Ventura as a commentator. I think we can match that skill.
Yep. All right. All right. So I'm gonna do the NFL.com's power rankings first, and then I'm gonna give mine. If you guys want to give yours, it's up to you. I did all 32 teams. How I based it, if it's head to head and they have the same record, the team that won is above that team. I don't give. Oh, well, they're playing good now.
No.
I don't give a shit if they're playing good now or not. They lost. I'll give Heather's rankings as well. She only had one change from mine, and I'll have her explain why. But here's the NFL.com's power rankings. Number 32. Jets, Jets.
Just end the season.
Jets fans are like, somebody test positive for COVID on the Jets. Please end the season. All right. Number 31, the Giants.
Did
Go ahead.
ESPN make like a whole 2-minute skit on the Jets from what Bobbitt sent me? That was ridiculous.
Number 31, the Giants. Okay. All right. Number 30, Washington. I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. Number 29, and I really disagree with this one, Houston.
Yeah.
Number 28.
Whoa.
Number 28, Atlanta. Number 27, the Texans dropped 8. They're the farthest drop this year or this week from where they were last week. The Falcons dropped 1 to 28. The Broncos went up 2 to 27.
I disagree with the Broncos being better than the Texans.
Did you say that again?
I don't like the Broncos being better than the Texans.
Well, I think
Atlanta's below the Texans.
Well,
or even the Broncos below.
I'm gonna hold on now. Hold on. I mean, I do agree. When I get to that, when I talk about it, you'll understand why I'm putting them where they're in the exact same spot that NFL.com has them, and I'll explain why. There's only one reason why. Broncos, Jaguars stayed at 26. The Dolphins stayed at 25. The Lions dropped 2 to 24. The Bengals went up 5 to 23. The Bears dropped 6 to 22. The Raiders dropped 3 to 21. The Cowboys dropped 3 to 20. They should have dropped even further, in my opinion. And in fact, I think I have them further down. The Eagles went up 4 to 19. The Chargers went up 1 to 18. The Vikings went up 3 to 17. The Cardinals dropped 2 to 16. The Panthers went up 9 spots this week, the biggest jump of any team, to 15. The 49ers dropped 2 to 14. The Browns went up 2 to 13. The Colts dropped 1 to 12. See why do you think they dropped them? The Saints.
The Jaguars. That's probably.
Huh? Say it again.
It's probably the Jaguars lost that dropped us 1 spot. Probably would be my guess.
Well, they should have beat the Jaguars. Otherwise, they'd be 4-0, right? Jaguars are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Saints went up 2 to 11. The Patriots dropped 2 to 10. The Rams stayed at 9. The Buccaneers went up 2 to 8. The Titans stayed at 7. The Seahawks dropped 1 to 6 because they have the worst defense in the NFL. Even though they're 4-0, statistically, they have the worst defense in the NFL. The Steelers dropped 1 to 5. The Bills jumped 2 to number 4. The Ravens are at number 3. Packers at 2. And Chiefs at 1.
Bills number 4. That's great.
All right, here's mine. And then Coop's like, are you going to do your own rankings? Like, I have fucking time. But I decided to do it today. Now, keep in mind, this is the first time I'm doing this week, and I'll go from there. Whoever, if a team wins, I drop them unless everybody below them loses, which is likely to fucking happen, which this NFL season is going.
Yeah.
Of course, I have I'm just going to say this. You could flip-flop the Jets and the Giants. I did put the Jets at 32, but the Giants are really not. I think the Jets are actually better than the Giants, to be honest with you. The Giants have no offense at all, and they have a couple of weapons. They have no defense. The Jets have a little bit of a defense, which I think is the difference. So you could flip-flop those two. I put the Falcons at 30. They're bad. They're bad. They're good offensively, but defensively, they aren't going to be able to stop anybody. Now, I put Houston at 0-4 because they haven't won a game yet. That's the only reason. If they win, I will definitely jump them back ahead of some teams. Why? Because I think they're better than some of these teams that are above them. I put Washington at 28. I almost put Washington at 29, but they have one win. So I put them at 29 or 28. I put the Jaguars at 27, the Lions at 26, the Badgers.
Well, we got a new
Broncos. The Broncos. I put the Broncos at 25. The Dolphins at 24. Cowboys at 23. Chargers at 22. The Vikings at 21. The Bengals at 20. Only reason is because they're 1-2-1. And I put the Eagles at 1-2-1 at 20. Or no, the Eagles at 19, I'm sorry. Because them two tied. So you could flip-flop those two, to be honest with you. I think the Eagles are better than the Bengals. I don't know what happened in that game. They fucked up. The Raiders at 18. They're at 18 at 2-2. The 49ers at 2-2 at 17. Cardinals at 16. The Panthers at 15. The Saints at 14. The Browns at 3-1. And the only reason the Browns, because they only have one loss. Everybody else has two losses. The Bears at 11. That will drop. I don't think you can punish them. When they start losing, which will happen because they don't have an offense, you'll start seeing them drop each week if they start losing. I put the Colts at 10 because they beat the Bears. Don't get excited, Sarah. They're going to drop. Trust me. The Buccaneers at 9.
My nice shining moment, I guess, for now.
The Buccaneers at 9. The Rams at 8. The Titans at 7. The Steelers at 6. The Seahawks at 4. Or 5. The Bills at 3. The Ravens... The Bills at 4. The Ravens at 3. The Packers at 2. And the Chiefs at 1. That's my 32 best teams. That's my top 32. Debate. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I think that's pretty dead on.
Come on, Coop.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking like the Chiefs, like number 1 up there. Yeah, Packers doing really well. Bills number 4. I'm fine with that. Just seems pretty good to me right now. I do think the Bears and the Colts are a little bit too high though.
Well, the only reason that they're there, do you think that of those 3-1 teams, do you think the Browns are better than the Bears or the Colts?
Yes, I actually think.
Do you think you think you need
the past 3 weeks, Browns have scored over 30 points.
Okay, but who have they played?
Well, who they played?
Yeah,
they've played the Bengals.
Didn't they give up? Didn't they give up 30 points too, though?
Huh?
Yeah, they've also given up a lot of points, but they are scoring 30 points.
So they're
scoring more. They're scoring more than the Bears and the Colts.
Do you think that they can score that many points against? And the Colts do have good defense. So do the Bears. Do you think they can score that many points against those two teams? I don't think so. I don't think they can. I don't think they can. I could be wrong. That's why I put the Bears and Colts ahead of the Browns. I think the Patriots are better than all 3 of those teams, to be honest with you. I just couldn't put the Patriots ahead of a 3-1 team. It's that old argument that college football always has. How can you give a 2-loss team a nod over a 1-loss team? You can't. Not always. You can't give... If Wisconsin has 1 loss and they're a Power 5 conference and they beat Ohio State in the championship game and Alabama has 2 losses, how dare you put Alabama ahead of Wisconsin if that was to happen? How dare a committee, and that just tells me that this committee doesn't give a shit about glitz and glamour. All they care about is glitz and glamour. All they care about is ratings. These kids, all of these people, all of these football players put 100% effort in. And when you see players, college players especially, man, you have a one-loss team, they beat Ohio State, I'm just using that as an example, and you put Alabama in ahead of them just because Alabama has this history of being really good? Get the fuck out of here. That doesn't fly with me. They've got 2 losses. They shouldn't have fucking lost those 2 fucking games. That's the argument. If they wanted to be in the national championship game, they shouldn't have lost those 2 games. Maybe 1 game. Now, if it was 1 game versus 1 game, it depends on whose strength of schedule was tougher. I would then probably put Alabama in because Big Ten is not as strong as the SEC. I will say that. But that's what I based my argument off of. That's what I based my rankings off of. Now, that being said, it will change. Now, I do have the Ravens at 3-1. They're an exception to the fucking rule. They shouldn't have lost, and they lost to the Chiefs. So they lost a game to the best team in the NFL. So I'm not gonna drop them below. I mean, you could switch the Ravens and the Bills if you wanted, just for argument's sake, but why? Why drop the Ravens that far? That's what I base my argument on.
Has anybody else had a chance to give their rankings yet?
No, but I know Heather had pretty much the same thing I did. And I'm going to let her explain, and then I'll let you guys give whatever. She flip-flopped the Raiders and the 49ers. She put the 49ers at 18 and the Raiders at 17. That's the only change she had. And why is that?
Because of all the injuries the 49ers have, I don't think they're going to be able to come back next week.
So she took into account all of the injuries for the 49ers. That's why she put the Raiders above the 49ers. Coop, you just gave the top 5, right?
Yeah, I basically just go with the top 5.
Okay. Sarah?
I would do the same thing.
Top
5.
Okay, well then what is your top 5?
My top 5 would be, number 5 would be Seattle. Number 4 would be Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 would be Baltimore. Number 2 would be Green Bay, and number 1 would be Kansas City.
Okay. Bobbitt, what about you, brother?
Mine would be the same as everybody else's.
Okay.
But I'd switch 2-1. I think the Packers is a better team than the Chiefs are right now.
I think they're about equal. Neither one's very good on defense. They just make plays. They make plays when they have to. But that's we'll see. We'll see. All right. I don't pay attention to that shit. I just know they didn't have any semblance of a receiver, and they had makeshift except for Valdez-Scantling was the only one. And Aaron Rodgers threw for over 300 yards and had 4 touchdowns last night. Now imagine if he had Devontae Adams and Lazard in that game last night. Could you imagine? We'd be talking about Patrick Mahomes who? I'm just saying. Oh, okay. So Dak Prescott put up 500 yards against the Browns defense. Come on, man. No, I'm not saying it's not, but he has receivers. Yeah. Yeah, well, their defense is atrocious. That's why Dallas sucks. All right, so here is the chart for the week. And Sarah jumped ahead of me by 1. I think I lost 1 game, and I think it was the Patriots. How is Trek at 46.5?
Desktop is muted again. You gotta move the keyboard off of the computer. I think that's what's doing it.
Oh, sorry. What's your top 5 again, Sarah? I'm sorry. For some reason, it's muting the fucking... Okay. Go ahead. Bobbitt, what about you again? Actually, Rick, Atlanta does have a pretty good offense. Just saying. It's the NFL. It fucking muted again. I didn't even touch it.
I don't know what's going on then. It's gotta be fucking OBS messing up.
Say it again, Bobbitt. Fucking stupid.
I would switch Green Bay and Kansas City.
Okay. So here's the standings for the chat. Really, the chat's the only thing that we're really keeping track of. I mean, Sarah is leading the panel by 1 game. Trek is leading at 46.5. You just go through each games each week. Yeah, sure you do. Silly's in second with 43, and Gina is in third, along with Rayshawn at 38.5.
Nice.
Rayshon's creeping up.
You know, so if there happens to be a tie,
Probably a bad word to say.
if there happens to be a tie at the end of the year, they both.
If there's a tie, don't worry.
Yeah, you'll get. If there's a tie, you both win the same prize. Now, if it's first, that's a whole nother issue. We'll have to pick the Pro Bowl. We'll have to pick the Pro Bowl. Just kidding. So, all right. So here we go. Week 6. Chiefs at Bills.
Hold on.
Oh my god.
Well, is it Sarah doing the picks?
You mean week 5, right?
Yes, week
Week
5.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. Week 5. I'm sorry. Don't ignore that. Buccaneers at Bears. Sorry. Buccaneers at Bears. It's in Chicago. I will tell you this right now: if the Bears turn the ball over if the Buccaneers turn the ball over against the Bears will beat the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but they look stagnant. They look stagnant to me. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. They're good. They have the potential to be good, but if it takes somebody flipping somebody off to get a team going, that just exudes crap to me. Coop, who you got?
I do expect Tom Brady might turn over the ball once at least in this game. So, but I'm still going to go with the Bucs in this one.
Well, what I'm saying is if Tom Brady throws, didn't he throw 2 pick sixes?
I think. I know he threw 1 at least.
If he turns the ball, it wasn't me.
There you go.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I lost the feed.
Oh, you lost the feed? Oh, okay.
Okay. Are we back?